What's going on? Ooh, Brad.
Whoop, whoop. Let's put me over there.
Uh-oh.
Whoop, here we go.
Hold on. My bad, guys.
We're just
We
going to
need to.
resize that window.
So I'm gonna just drop the mic over to you, Brad. For those who do know you and those who don't, please just give us a little bit of your background, how you got started, and what it is that you're. First off, what is it that you do today? But then take us back.
Okay, let's do that. We'll give a little snapshot to today, and then we'll rewind. Today, I am creating videos and building a community called Creative X. And it's basically a YouTube channel all about the art, business, and craft of web design, and a community all around the people who love building things for the web. So we got freelancers, agency owners, people who want to be those things, all tied in and woven through that is Editor X. It's my new favorite no-code web creation platform, and the power of it is amazing. This whole no-code movement is crazy, and so I'm really excited to be on this journey. So I get to do that. I do coaching calls. I have coursework. I have way too many things going on outside of that as well. You know, I do occasionally take on clients for web design as well, if time allows and the project is just the right project. So that's what I'm doing today. And to kind of rewind, literally 10 years ago, this month is when I started freelancing full time. So prior to that, I'd been freelancing on the side as a web designer, building sites, HTML, CSS, everything was really sketchy and slicing and dicing in Photoshop, all that sort of stuff. And man, like that early work, it wasn't good, but it was what, got me into it. And so 10 years ago, freelancing full time, I decided, let's do it. I had an agency job for a year, coding up kind of templates and stuff for large campaigns, decided, I can do this. I've been freelancing on the side for a few years here now. And I think if I can focus on this full time, I can get enough client work, I can get things moving, and we could do this. And so I go full time. And at that time, we were expecting our first child. And so I'm like, I really got to take this seriously. So this isn't like me messing around and just hoping for the best. It's like, no, I have to make this work, quit this job, I'm going full time. Like there's no option here. And so I'm getting clients and things are going pretty decent. I'm paying bills, like it's working. But as anybody who's a freelancer knows, that freelancing income is like mountains and valleys. It's up and down, feast, famine, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And I was like, that's not sustainable. Like I can't mentally imagine having a child, having to pay bills, put food on the table, where 1 month things are really good and another month or another few months, it's like nothing. So I was like, that's not going to work. What is going to work is this working for myself. That is going to work. The payment part I need to figure out. And so I thought, you know what, let's find a way to supplement this income in the realm of what I'm doing. Like instead of me taking on a side job or getting a side gig or whatever, thought, well, what can we do here? So long story short in that part, because there was a bit of a journey figuring that out, but online courses became kind of the answer. I was like, well, maybe I can teach what I know. And at the time, that was a pretty novel idea on the internet anyway, creating an online course 10 years ago. It's a long time in this world of tech. And so I was like, okay, well, what do I know? What am I good at teaching? What can I do? I know how to teach people how to code up sites. Like I can do that. How do you take a nice design? How do you code it up in HTML and CSS? Let's do that. So I created a really basic course, published it on Udemy, and the appeal for that was like, hey, I don't have anybody to sell this to, but Udemy does. So if they take a cut, they market the course, like everybody's happy here because I had no idea where to start with that. Create a good product and let, them deal with it. So I did that, started to work, started to grow, started getting students. Those students started asking questions and requesting new courses. So I created another course and then that would grow. And then that took off. And then I was on the homepage of Udemy and then I get featured here and then I create another course. And then my freelancing is growing as a result because I'm getting better at my craft, web design, by teaching it, but also those students become like leads, clients, referral sources, and it just kind of like becomes this thing. And so that starts to grow to the point where I have this course business that I'm managing on top of client work. which is growing. And from that, I'm able to learn a number of different things, and I gain expertise from managing a course business and a client business, and I'm doing this now. Like years are passing, and it's all starting to grow, and opportunities are presenting itself, and I'm figuring it out as I go. And so then what I do is I open up like kind of a community and another course, helping other freelancers figure out how do you make a good go of this. And I was pretty honest about it. I was like, listen, I'm only a few steps ahead of you. I'm not coming at this from, I've been doing this my whole life and this wise old man is going to teach you the ways. I was like, honestly, I'm a few steps ahead of you, and I'm doing well at this. So what I feel like I can do is pass my expertise down to you and help you kind of get a few steps ahead. And so started doing that. And so I'm coaching freelancers. I'm doing web design courses. I'm doing web design work, and I'm doing all of this stuff too. So I'm managing all of these different, what I realized, and this is me just figuring it out as I go. But when I look back in hindsight now, I realized what I was doing in a very scrappy way was creating a portfolio of income sources. Kind of like if you're investing, you don't just like invest all in one company or all in one stock. You diversify that, to weather the storms, so to speak. So if one grows and the other goes down, well, you're balanced. That's kind of the idea here. So I had service income. I had coaching income where I was selling my brain, selling my knowledge. And I didn't have to sell my hands and do work. I was just like giving advice and helping people with a problem, and they give me money for that. And it's very scalable. So service income, coaching income, product income, course income, passive income as well. So all along this, I'm blogging and I'm creating YouTube videos, and that generates advertising revenue. You get ad revenue. I mean, it's not anything crazy, but then you get all these different sources, people buying a product based on your recommendation because they took it in the course. And so then all of a sudden you create this portfolio of income sources, all the while, like I'm just a freelancer. That's like all I still struggle to tell people what it is that I do, because I'm kind of like an online business person, I guess, but I'm like a freelancer. I'm like a web designer.
Right.
Like I do web design. That's what I do, but it's a very dynamic version of it now. And so I've been able to make a good go of this as a web designer now that I've 10 years in. It's like I've realized, there's a number of things that we can do in addition to just building websites for clients and getting paid for our time, to make a really good, fulfilling living doing this. I hope that answers your question.
No, that was a very good, encompassing answer to the question. I hope you guys liked this episode. If you did, you can find more build from scratch website tutorials with me right here, or you can find more Editor X tips and tricks in this playlist over here. With that said, I hope to see you guys in another video. And of course, if you liked this episode and what we're doing here on this channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.